let's cover the very first measure of the song now with the chords. So a lot of these chords are just basically a standard C and a standard G and a standard bar chord F. Okay, sometimes he'll leave out some fingers. Like say for example, when I play a G chord, you could just play a G chord with one finger. Let's get a close-up on that. Here's my standard G chord with 3 fingers. Now if I'm not hitting string 1, I can take this finger away. I don't need it. And if I'm not playing string 5, I'm not playing this finger either, so I don't need that one. I'm playing G with just one finger. So there's a simplified G. The nice thing is that G could be played with any finger. I could use my first finger, second finger, third finger. Probably wouldn't use the fourth finger, but I guess anything's possible. So the only chords in this song really are C, standard C, simplified G with one finger, and then a bar chord F. Sorry, that's the toughest chord of the song right there, but that's what he plays. You see some people try to play it with their thumb on the bass string like that, which I think is a lot harder. But when you play the F bar, really the secret is to pull on the guitar with your arm. So you take your first finger, you put it on the string, and then you take your arm and you pull on a guitar. Notice I can bar it and I'm not even using my thumb. The way I'm squeezing that down is with the pressure of my arm and my bicep, not even using my thumb at all. So that's just an example to show you how you can pull on the fretboard with your arm when you play that full bar F. This song has a pickup measure, which means there's 2 beats of rest. So you could say there's a 2 count at the beginning, 1, 2. Then you come in with 2 more notes, which are on beat 3 and beat 4. And here we go, we're going to learn the notes. First thing you do in the song is you start with your hand in home position like we talked about, and you use the traveling thumb to move your thumb over to the 5th string, like that. So I'm in my basic home position with my thumb on the 5th string. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play string 5 and string 3 at the same time. That would be the thumb and the index finger playing together. Let's get a close-up on that. I'm playing the thumb on string 5 and the index finger on string 3, and I'm squeezing the strings and I'm playing both of those notes at the same time. That's the first note of the song right there. That's on beat 3. So when you count yourself in, you go 1, 2, 3. The song starts on beat 3. So give yourself a 2 count and then come in. 1, 2, 3. The next note after that is a 2nd fret note on the 3rd string, which I'm playing with my 2nd finger, and then I'm plucking the 3rd string again with my index finger. So I guess that makes 2 index finger plucks in a row, but that's okay. So here's what we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your pickup measure. It's just a little mini measure with 2 notes in it, 2 beats. So I don't consider that a full measure. I'm going to call that a pickup measure. Okay, let's move on. Now when you get into the first full measure, you're on a C chord. So set up your fingers in the shape of a C, and you're just going to hold your fingers there and not move anything around. So just hold that C and you're good to go. Everything else is just all finger picking. So while you're holding the C, you're going to do a finger pattern that we've covered earlier in this video. It's going to be the thumb is plucking string 5, and the middle finger is plucking string 2, and it's happening at the same time. So hit string 5 with your thumb and string 2 with your middle finger simultaneously. Pinch the strings. Okay, there you go. Then the next move, second beat of the measure, is to play the thumb on string 4 with the index finger playing string 3. And you play those together. So you're pinching the strings with the thumb and the index. String 4 and string 3. Okay, so if you have that, you just have to do it again, and there you go, you filled in the whole measure. So that sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 beats in this measure. So to recap, I'm hitting string 5 and 2, and 4 and 3, and 5 and 2, and 4 and 3. Make sure you're using the right fingers with your finger picking. It's got to be middle, index, middle, index. If you're doing something different, you'll never get this song. It'll always seem too hard. You'll miss the strings. It'll go too fast. Definitely don't try to play it with one finger. It'll never work. So use your middle and your index finger. Okay, let's take it from the top. We're going to do the 2 pickup notes in the pickup measure. Then we're going to do the first measure, which is 4 beats on a C chord. Okay, here's your 2 count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, if I went too fast, just play it by yourself at your own pace. And if I go too slow, just play along with me, and then stop the recording and play it faster if you want to. It's important to count the beats as we go. So notice I'm counting the beats now. And as this lesson progresses, I might say something like, do this on count 3, or something happens on count 4. If you're not learning to counting, you'll be lost. So you have to learn to count to 4. There's 4 beats in every measure. Okay, let's rehearse again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Okay, now I suggest that we take each hand and practice it a little bit on its own. This is great for programming your brain for autopilot. So let's start with the left hand. Taking my right hand away, and I'm going to play the song with my left hand only. Now you probably won't hear any sound, but this is to program my fingers and my brain for autopilot. Okay, here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you can't do that, then you're still wondering what the notes are in the song. So you should be able to play the song with one hand and imagine using visualization where all your fingers go as the song plays. If you can do that, you're going to really succeed at playing this song fast. Okay, so try that by yourself. And I'm just going to move on. Now I'm going to switch to the other hand. So I'm going to play this song with my right hand only. Everything you hear is going to be an open string, but I'm still going to hit all the right strings to play the song. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Okay, I challenge you to play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I know you're hearing all the wrong notes, but we are hitting all the right strings with the right fingers. So this hand knows exactly where to go. It isn't relying on this hand to play first. So many times when we learn a new song on the guitar, what we do is we put our finger on a note, and then our brain goes, okay, I got that note. Now let's see, what string do I have to pluck to play that? So your brain somehow learns this first, and then a split second later calculates what it has to do over here to make that happen. Okay, so we're getting rid of that whole process, and we're just saying, to play this song, I need to pluck these two strings, and then this one, and then these two. Then I'm going to play here, and then here, and then here. I don't even have to put any fingers on, and I still know what to do. All my fingers have the coordination to play all the notes of the song, even when this hand isn't operating. So take a moment to practice each hand one at a time. And of course, piano players practice every song like this. Guitar players seem to never do it, so you should give it a try. I think it'll work for you. Okay, I'm ready to move on. Let's move into the next measure. This will be the second full measure of music, and it's still based on a C chord. The only tricky thing in this measure is we're playing our basic C, and we're taking our pinky finger, and we're going to do a pull-off. Let's get a close-up on that. Here's our basic C chord, and we're going to take our pinky finger, and we're going to place it on the 3rd fret, string number 2. We're playing the note D there. And we're going to take that pinky finger away, and when your pinky finger comes off the string, it's going to pluck the string, probably by going in a downward motion toward the floor. Try that just left hand only. Move the pinky and pluck the 2nd string. Okay, notice how I'm doing that without the benefit of plucking with my right hand. I'm placing my pinky on the 2nd string and I'm plucking it like this. That's a pull-off. Okay, so that's the only tricky thing in this measure. Everything else is just a basic C chord with some picking. Okay, let's cover all the notes in the second measure of the song. What you're going to do is you're going to start by hitting string 5 with your thumb. This time it's just a single note by itself. It's just one note. String 5 with the thumb. That's on beat 1. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do, boy, we haven't covered this yet. You're going to hit string 1 and string 3 at the same time. Okay, so that's using your index finger on string 3 and your ring finger on string 1, and they're plucking together and hitting those two notes at the same time. Okay, there's no way your middle finger is going to be able to stay on the string while you're doing this. You have to just take your middle finger out of the equation, take it away from the strings, and just pluck with the index and the ring together. Sounds like that. That's on beat 2. Okay, let's move on. Then on beat 3, you hit that bass note again, which is the 5th string. That was easy. Okay, then for the first time in the song, we have a note on the and. This is on the and of 3. You're going to place your pinky finger on the 2nd string, and you're going to pluck the 2nd string by itself, which is obviously just a middle finger note. And I'm not putting any of the other fingers on the strings there to set up my home position. I'm just going to pluck with my middle finger only. None of the other fingers are touching the strings right now. So that happens just after beat 3. I consider that beat number 3.5. Musicians call it 3 and. Okay, we better cover all of that stuff so far before I show you the next note. Let's review. So in this measure, beat 1 is just your bass note, which is string 5. Beat 2 is strings 1 and 3 together. Beat 3 is your bass note again, string 5. And then the and is pinky finger playing the 2nd string. Now the rhythm there sounds like, so in other words we have slow, slow, fast, fast. Or to learn the actual counting, 1, 2, Okay, make sure you get that first before we move on. Now the next thing to do gets a little tricky right here. What we've just done is we played the second string with our pinky. Here comes the pull-off. Okay, the tricky part is when you're pulling this pinky away from the string, you have to pluck a note with your right hand at the same time. It's going to be thumb plucking string 4. Okay, this is an interesting thing. Your pinky finger of your left hand is going to pluck the second string on the fretboard. Then your thumb of your right hand is going to pluck the 4th string. And so the two hands are doing a tough coordination here. Pinky finger pluck, thumb pluck, do them together. So pinky finger plucks over here, thumb plucks over here. Now do them both at the same time. That's it. That's on beat 4. Okay, let's play up to there from the beginning of the measure. So beat 1, bass note. Beat 2, strings 1 and 3 together. Beat 3, bass note. The and is the pinky. Okay, now here's the thing where you do it together. There it is. Okay, then the final note of this measure is on the and of 4. So this is a note that comes just after beat 4. And it's an easy note. It's just hit the 3rd string. Use your index finger to pluck the 3rd string. And that's the end of that measure. So I'm going to play it in time, but very slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Let's try it again. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. A little slower. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, from different angles. So this time, I'll stand like this so you can see my finger picking. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now I'll stand with this angle so you can see my left hand more clearly. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now I'll show a close-up of the fingers. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to do the whole song from the top now. We're going to do the pickup measure in the first 2 measures. 1, 2. Okay, now concentrate on playing the high notes loud and the bass notes soft this time. 1, 2. There it was. Okay, let's cover the next concept. Let's back up a little bit. You're getting the first start in the tune, but now you're starting to hear the melody of the song. You're hearing the tune of the song. Let's work on that. Okay, if you don't know the melody of the song, or if you've never heard it, or you haven't played it, it's going to be hard to bring it out in your playing when you have all this crazy finger picking and pull-offs and all this difficult stuff to work on. And so let's back up a step. Let's break it down. When you play the melody of the song, you hear this. Then it repeats. So we should work on that now. Let's play it together. I will post a tab version of just the melody for you to follow. And we're just going to do the first 8 measures, so just the first phrase. Here we go on a 2 count. 1, 2. There it was. Okay, I challenge you to put on the recording of Mississippi John Hurt and just play that part along with the music. If you can, you really know the melody and you're off to a good start. If you can't, it's going to be impossible to bring out the melody in your playing when you work on the full tune. Okay, likewise, we're going to work on that alternating bass. So when you listen to Mississippi John Hurt, you hear this. It's like the backbone of the song. It's like an alternating bass part, like an upright bass player would play. Okay, we better work on that. So we're just holding a C chord, and our thumb is going from string 5 to 4, and 5 to 4. In the next measure, it looks like we have string 5, and then the index finger plays string 3. That's a little different. Then in the next measure, it's back to 5 and 4. And then in the next one, it's back to 5 and 3. Okay, so if we start from the first full measure of the song, we have 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3. And that repeats. Then you switch to a F bar, and this just goes 6, 4. And then we're back to C again. Okay, that's an important part of the song that you hear when you hear the original recording. So I challenge you just to play the bass line all the way through the song along with John Hurt. If you can, you're going to have a tremendous advantage when you put this whole song together.